Blitz Esports releases new videos every week. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out. If you've been keeping up with Pro League of Legends lately, you've probably been hearing a lot about gold funneling.
If you are going to run a funnel composition, in a funnel composition,
the team that doesn't have the funnel comp.
The Kai'Sa as far as the funneling goes, and
really stupid funnel comp.
We've seen Zyra Khan in a funnel before.
G2's funnel comp strategy.
And we could still be funneling. It's true. So this could be the funnel with the Jace. Frey has the smite, so it is going to be the funnel once again.
Basically, it's a strategy where you put a support mid and a hyper carry in the jungle. The support runs around with the carry, helping him farm both jungle and mid, and creating a super fed monster. Pro teams around the world have been aggressively using the strat, and if you don't deal with it early, it becomes unstoppable. With gold funneling becoming so big in pro play and starting to show up in solo queue, we're going to break down the reasons it became so popular and ways you can try to counter it if it shows up in your own games. And for more guides on champion counters, builds, and stats, check out our free desktop app here, also linked in the description below. We're always updating it with new tips and breakdowns to help you stay on top of the meta.
Line them up!
So to understand how to counter the gold funnel, we need to understand the reasons why it works and why it showed up now. Theoretically, there are 3 barriers that would prevent a funneling strat. Mid laners tend to need their own farm to build items and effectively scale. If you leave mid to roam and help clear the jungle, the enemy will push in your lane and punish you. The carry needs help clearing the jungle quickly without sharing the resources. Why are these not an issue? 1. Supports are efficient enough to sit in mid lane and give all their resources up. Passive gold generation and the gold gen on support items are plenty to pick up the cheap support items a hyper carry needs. Ardyn Censer or Zeke's Convergence for damage, or Knight's Vow and Locket for peel and survivability. More importantly, their kits are designed to work without a lot of items. Stuns, slows, resistances, heals, and shields are all high value with little gold. Thanks to all of this, supports like Taric, Braum, or Rakan can actually do a lot of work with very few resources. They make for perfect no-farm mid laners. Next is jungle resources, which is a setback that actually got solved back in patch 6.9. When Riot was trying to stop double jungling as a response to lane swaps, they made it so that experience isn't shared when multiple people farm the jungle. This means that a support can help a jungler without soaking XP, as long as the carry is killing the monsters. Now, both the gold value of supports and the jungle change aren't super new, so why is gold funneling only happening now? It's possible the last gold funnel problem wasn't solved until just recently. Patch 8.9 made changes to mage itemization that nerfed their wave clear. Doran's Ring and Tear of the Goddess got their mana regen nerfed, and both Lost Chapter and Tear got more expensive. This all meant most mages didn't have as much mana to push lane quickly, which made it so supports in the mid lane could go off to help jungle and mages couldn't consistently punish by pushing in the lane. So that's how we ended up with gold funneling. So how do teams counter it, and how can you use their strategies in solo queue?
one of the biggest things about putting a stop to team compositions that are trying to hard farm a champion around mid and jungle is to invade them, counter jungle them, and pressure side lanes. Because you know that 2 people are going to be committed to just getting farm for Kai'Sa, you should have the opportunity to create stuff elsewhere on the map.
Let's start with invading. Several teams have tried using level 1 invades against funnel comps, hoping for a kill or camp steal that will give them an early advantage and help them keep up with the enemy hypercarry. If you're up against a funnel comp in a game and you have a strong level 1, whether it's because of a Thresh Hook, Morgana Binding, Olaf Axe, or Camille Hook Shot, tell your team to look for an invade. You'll need all the early advantages you can get to keep up, and if you manage to kill the funnel, you'll delay their win condition. The second way to target a funnel comp is through side lanes. A funnel strategy leaves side lanes exposed because the jungler will spend most of their early game moving from jungle to mid and maximizing farm. So far, we've seen pro teams punish this by having their jungler constantly gank side lanes to get them ahead and create a win condition there. They'll use either a bot lane with the traditional AD carry or top carries that can use their gold to take over the game, like Aatrox. If you're a jungler against a funnel comp, you should be putting heavy emphasis on getting your side laners ahead. If you're a top laner or bot lane player, try to get a good matchup that can carry the game with enough gold. Champions that spike in the mid game, like Lucian or Gangplank, work well here. 100 Thieves put Someday on Gangplank, for example. He scales incredibly with items but can get punished early with ganks. Against a funnel comp, the threat level on him is minimal, and he can take over the mid game with his 2-item spike. In the mid lane, teams have also looked to pick mid laners that can roam and get side laners ahead. In solo queue, there are plenty of champions you can pick to do this, from Twisted Fate to Galio, Lissandra, Talon, or Aurelion Sol. Bonus points if you can push waves fast enough to kill off your minions and deny the funnel XP. Finally, you can always look to skirmish early against the enemy funnel. Early duelist junglers like Graves, Camille, Xin Zhao, and Nocturne are all popular right now, and paired with the right mid laner, they can win skirmishes versus the hyper carry and support duo. Lulu is a common go-to in pro play against funnel comps since she can buff her own jungler, has solid base damage for skirmishes, and can use polymorph to disable the enemy hyper carry. Misfits use Lulu and Camille, for example, against Fnatic's funnel. KT used a Lulu Nocturne duo to do the same, and we even saw Afrika Freaks play Lissandra and Graves. You can do this in solo queue too, though it works best if your mid and jungle are on the same page or a duo. Hopefully, the insane pressure of funnel comps doesn't show up too often in your games, but if it does, remember these pro play strats. Invade for an early advantage, push to get your side lanes ahead, and try a smart skirmishing duo to fight and kill the funnel duo early. It's all about getting the upper hand before the funnel comp snowballs out of control. Hit us with any questions you have down below, and be sure to check out our desktop app for more tips from our analysts, plus champion stats, builds, and counters. It's completely free and gives the best counterplay for anything the meta throws your way.